Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. How is everybody? Welcome to another episode of Roll Around, Find Out. Tonight we're going to come back to the chatgpt RPG. If this becomes a really long ongoing series, maybe eventually I'll name it something, but I kind of like the just letters GPT RPG. And so, very interesting last session. Just recapping my thoughts on it. Very crazy how it works, how it just auto-generates things so quick, instant dialogue situations. I like that it was sort of pretending to be a game master and asking like, well, what do you want to do? I like that it got caught kind of in a lie. Or not a lie, but it didn't know what it didn't know. And so when I went down into the cellar to catch rats, it just assumed that I had a torch, which I did not. And so I kind of sort of called it out. And it said, okay, yeah, how do you want to redo the situation? Just like a human, makes mistakes, and you backtrack as much as you can. And so, super cool. My one major criticism is that it just seemed very go with the flow, not trying to create confrontation. And so, I'm going to keep that going. I don't want to interject and say, hey, can you try and add more combats? Can you try to add more interaction? I want to see where it goes, and then maybe my character will start a combat, and we'll see how that goes. I'm sure I could just, hop in, no story, just say, hey, you're my DM, start a combat, and see how it goes. But, I'm having fun with continuing the story and seeing how this all plays out. So, let's get started. I've got my Audacity recording up. I've got ChatGPT up. And so right off the bat, I'm going to try and test it. I could go back, scroll through, and try to find key points, key highlights, but there's so much on here that I'm going to just say, hey, can you recap the story so far? So I'm going to say, I'm going to overtype and say, hey, chat GPT, it's been a few days for me. Can you recap what happened last session? You know what? No. I'm going to just say, can you recap what happened last session? Hoping for, obviously, same result. Can you recap what happened last session? Of course, here's a recap of what happened. It's going so fast, loading. What happened in your adventure so far? Character introduction. You began your journey as a rat catcher in the coastal town of Harbor's Landing in the kingdom of Avalaria, the captain's tavern. You arrived at Harbor's Landing and checked into the captain's tavern. You met the friendly bartender Garrick Stoutbeard, who offered you a job opportunity to help with a rat problem in the tavern storage room. Rat catching. You accepted Garrick's job offer and successfully cleared out the rats from the storage room, earning Garrick's gratitude. Discovery of treasure. While cleaning the storage room, you stumbled upon a hidden cache of antique jewelry, books, and other valuable items. Exploration of Harbor's Landing. You explored the town, inquired about potential antique stores or jewelers, and received a recommendation to visit the Fisherman's Wharf. Meeting Alara. At the Fisherman's Wharf, you encountered Alara, an elderly merchant, and inquired about the antique jewelry. She offered to provide an appraisal and further assessment. Decision to keep the jewelry. After some consideration, you decided not to entrust the jewelry to Alara and opted to keep them in your possession. Current status. You currently have the antique jewelry and are free to decide how to proceed with them. Additionally, you have a room reserved at the Captain's Tavern, and Garrick has promised to notify you when the tavern's owner, Dorian Dalton, visits. Now you have several options at your disposal, including exploring the jewelry's history, returning to the Captain's Tavern, or pursuing other adventures or inquiries in Harbor's Landing. What would you like to do next? All right. Well, I'll say, because I don't remember, what time in game is it? In the game, it is currently mid-morning. You've spent some time exploring Harbor's Landing, visiting the Fisherman's Wharf, and interacting with Alara. The sun is shining, and there's plenty of daylight for you to pursue any further actions or activities you have in mind. Okay? I would like to walk around and people watch. I want to keep a close eye to see if anyone is following me. You decide to take a leisurely stroll around Harbor's Landing, taking in the sights and sounds of the coastal town. As you wander through the town's bustling streets and along the waterfront, you pay close attention to your surroundings, particularly looking out for any signs that someone might be following you. As you people watch and observe the townsfolk going about their daily routines, you don't notice anyone immediately following you or behaving suspiciously. The townspeople seem preoccupied with their own activities, from fishermen mending nets to traders haggling over prices at the wharf. The salty breeze from the sea carries the scent of the ocean, and the sounds of seagulls overhead and the gentle lapping of waves against the docks create a tranquil atmosphere. Is there anything specific you're hoping to observe, or any particular action you'd like to take while you continue to explore Harbor's Landing? Apologies, but no apologies if you hear any noise in the background. My dog is currently playing tug of war with me, and I'm okay with that. Alright. Well, so this is where, I don't know. I don't want to go out of my way to cause trouble. I don't, I got, obviously, enough money from the treasure I found. I'm not really in need of working right now. I'm kind of on vacation. So this is where a real human game master, I think, would have to get some sort of problem that I would then have to resolve. So, let's see if we can just fast forward through time. If nothing interesting is happening, I wait for Dorian to visit. You continue to stroll through Harbor's Landing, taking in the peaceful and routine activities of the townspeople. As you walk, you keep an eye out for any signs of Dorian Dalton, the owner of the Captain's Tavern, but you don't spot him during your current walk around town. It appears to be a quiet morning in the coastal town with no significant developments or events catching your attention. As you await Dorian's visit, you can choose to return to the Captain's Tavern to check with Garrick or explore other areas of the town. Okay, well, I want to explore other areas of the town. Certainly, you decide to explore other areas of Harbor's Landing beyond the Fisherman's Wharf and the Captain's Tavern. As you venture further into the town, you come across several notable locations and points of interest. Harbor Square. A gentle gathering place in town, Harbor Square features a large, open plaza where locals and visitors often gather. It's surrounded by giant shops, cafes, and market stalls selling a variety of goods. The Lighthouse. Perched on a rocky promontory, interesting, overlooking the sea, the Harbor's Landing Lighthouse stands as a beacon for ships approaching the harbor. You can see its towering structure from various parts of the town. The Marketplace. A bustling marketplace near the square offers a wide range of goods from fresh produce to handmade crafts. Local artisans and traders often set up shop here. Okay, so we have the Fisherman's Wharf where we can buy stuff. We have, well, I guess Harbor Square says it's surrounded by quaint shops. So that's probably the marketplace it meant. There's the town library. Harbor's Landing boasts a small but well-maintained town library. It's a quiet place to read, study, or conduct research. There's the Seafarers Guild, a guild dedicated to the town's seafaring community. It serves as a gathering place for sailors and offers information about maritime trade and opportunities. And the Coastal Walkway, a scenic path that runs along the coastline, providing breathtaking views of the ocean and the rugged cliffs that surround Harbor's Landing. All right. I want to go to the library to see if... Oh, you know what? Let's go... I want to go to the marketplace and see if anyone is selling jewelry. My initial thoughts are, yeah, it's going to say yes because it always says yes, but we'll see. You make your way to the bustling marketplace in Harbor's Landing, where various vendors have set up stalls to sell their wares. As you stroll through the marketplace, you keep an eye out for any stalls or merchants selling jewelry. After a bit of browsing, you come across a stall run by a middle-aged merchant named Lena. She has an assortment of jewelry items on display, including necklaces, bracelets, and rings, all glistening in the morning sunlight. Good morning. Welcome to my stall. Are you interested in some fine jewelry today? You engage with Lena, and she enthusiastically shows you her collection of jewelry pieces. While her wares are lovely, they don't appear to be of the antique style or craftsmanship that matches the jewelry you found earlier. Amazing. However, you can ask her questions or explore her offerings further if you wish. I want to... Let's see, she was middle-aged, right? I want to ask Lena how she got into selling jewelry and whether or not she made any of this. You strike up a conversation with Lena, expressing your interest in her jewelry and asking about her background in the trade. I say, your jewelry is quite beautiful, Lena. How did you get into selling jewelry? Did you make any of these pieces yourself? Okay, I'm going to say, restart this conversation. Remember, my character is awkward around people. Certainly, let's restart the conversation with Lena, taking into account your character's awkwardness. You awkwardly, hi there. I was just wondering, how did you start selling jewelry? And did you make any of these yourself? Well, I don't know if I'm an idiot, chatgpt, but okay. I think I was awkward because I smelled. Let's see. I've got 2 notebooks down here, and I don't... Oh, you know what? I do have my notebook. I have it here. Alright, according to my notebook, I am bad with people because I have an awkward smell. Okay. Oh, I'm bad with people. I'm awkward because I smell. Okay, so let's go delete what I said. If I can. Yep, okay, I just redo it. Okay, restart this conversation. Remember, my character is... well, I haven't been acting awkward towards people, but awkward around people because I smell. I smell like rats and rat poop at times. Save and submit. Okay, you approach Lena's jewelry stall at the marketplace, but as you get closer, you become acutely aware of your recent rat-catching activities and the lingering scent that clings to you. Feeling somewhat self-conscious about your presence, you decide to strike up a conversation with Lena, taking care to be polite and mindful of the situation. So now I say, hello there. Your jewelry is, really lovely. How did you, get into selling jewelry? Did you, make any of these pieces? Lena smiles kindly, seemingly unfazed by your presence. Thank you, dear. Well, I've always had a bit of a passion for jewelry, you see. I started as an apprentice to a jeweler in another town, learning the art of crafting these pieces. Some of them here I did make myself, especially those with the special designs. But I also get pieces from other talented artisans and traders who pass through Harbor's Landing. Lena's warm response puts you at ease, and it seems she is more focused on her love for jewelry and craftsmanship than any potential awkwardness in your interaction. If you have any more questions, okay. What town did your apprentice what town did you and your apprentice work? Say that. Let's see. You. That sounds really interesting. Which town did you and your apprentice work in? Notice that ChatGPT has forgotten my awkwardness, but I guess it put me at ease. So we'll assume that. Lena's eye lights up as she recalls her past experiences. Oh. We worked in a charming town called Seabreeze Harbor. Not too far from here, actually. It's a coastal town much like Harbor's Landing, with its own unique charm. I learned a lot about crafting jewelry and honed my skills there. Okay, I think that... Okay, I think Dorian is from there. So, hey... DM, where was Dorian from again? He's originally from Seabreeze Harbor. Okay, perfect. So, Lena, have you ever heard of Dorian Dalton? You inquire with Lena if she's ever heard of Dorian Dalton, the owner of the Captain's Tavern in Harbor's Landing. She furrows her brow in thought for a moment. Dorian Dalton, you say. The name sounds vaguely familiar, but I can't say I know much about him. Perhaps he's a local figure here in Harbor's Landing? My focus tends to be on jewelry and craftsmanship, you see. Okay. Totally fine. Okay. I bring out my jewelry pieces to see if she can tell me anything about them. You carefully retrieve the antique jewelry pieces from your belongings and show them to Lena, the jeweler. She examines the pieces with a keen eye, taking note of their craftsmanship, materials, and any distinguishing features. Lena says, "These are quite intriguing. The craftsmanship is remarkable, and they seem to have a blend of styles from different regions. I'd say they're antique pieces, possibly quite old. The design is unique, and the use of genuine materials like these gemstones adds to their appeal. If you're interested in learning more about their history and potential value, I'd recommend seeing an expert appraisal." Lena's assessment aligns with your own observation about the jewelry's craftsmanship and uniqueness. She suggests seeking out an expert appraisal to delve deeper into their history. Okay. Do you know of one? Lena, well, while I do have some knowledge in jewelry, I'm not exactly an expert appraiser. However, you might want to inquire at the town library or the Seafarers Guild. They might have records or contacts who specialize in valuable artifacts and could provide you with a more accurate assessment. It's worth a try, dear. Lena's suggestion points you towards the town library or the Seafarers Guild as potential sources of information or contacts who might be able to help with an appraisal. Okay. Lena, do you... Okay, do you know a contact at the Seafarers Guild? The library seems like the obvious choice, but I'm getting a little impatient and I don't really want to do any more research. I want to just get an answer here. So she says, "I don't have a specific contact at the Seafarers Guild, but you can usually find members of the guild around the coastal areas of Harbor's Landing. They're a friendly bunch, often found in the taverns or at the docks. Just strike up a conversation with one of them, and they might be able to point you in the right direction." Okay. Let's see. Does the Seafarers Guild have a guild house? I don't know if that's a real thing. Yes, the Seafarers Guild. Okay, I just asked ChatGPT. I didn't ask Lena. So let me go back. Asking Lena. I believe they do have a sort of gathering place, but it's not exactly a former guild house. I think guild hall is what I was looking for. Like you might find in larger cities. They tend to congregate in taverns near the docks or at the wharf itself, since most of their business is centered around the sea. You should have no trouble finding some of them if you head in that direction. Okay. Vaguely state. Okay. Bye, Lena. I head to the docks and ask someone there if they know any Seafarer Guild members. You bid farewell to Lena at her jewelry stall and make your way to the docks in Harbor's Landing. As you arrive at the bustling waterfront, you see sailors and fishermen going about their business. It doesn't take long before you spot a group of individuals who seem to be engaged in maritime activities. Approaching one of them, a weathered sailor with a friendly demeanor, you inquire about the Seafarers Guild and whether they know any guild members in the area. I say, "Excuse me, I'm looking for members of the Seafarers Guild. Do you know if there are any guild members around these parts?" Sailor says. He gives you a nod and a friendly grin. Man, everyone's so nice around here. "Aye, we've got a few of them here. You might want to head to the Captain's Tavern just up the way. Sailors and guild members often gather there for a drink and chat. You'll likely find someone who can help you out." Okay. I go back to the Captain's Tavern and inquire around for a Seafarers Guild member. Okay, well, maybe it circles back there, and maybe somebody from the guild left it down there. And it wasn't Mr. Stoutbeard or Dorian. You return to the familiar setting of the Captain's Tavern, where you previously accepted a job from Garrick and made some inquiries about the town. This time your goal is to find a member of the Seafarers Guild who might be able to assist you with the antique jewelry. As you step inside the tavern, you scan the room for any sailors or individuals who might be associated with the guild. It doesn't take long for you to spot a small group of people at one of the corner tables. They appear to be engaged in lively conversation with maps and nautical charts spread out before them. Approaching the group, you politely introduce yourself and inquire about their affiliation with the Seafarers Guild. I say, "Hello there. I was told that members of the Seafarers Guild often gather here at the Captain's Tavern. I'm looking for someone who might be able to assist me with a matter related to valuable items. Are any of you guild members?" One of the individuals, a seasoned sailor with a salt and pepper beard, looks up and responds, "Aye, you found the right place, friend. I'm Captain Roderick, and these are my fellow guild members. What brings you to Seafarers Guild today?" Captain Roderick and the other sailors appear to be receptive to your inquiry. You can now explain the situation. Okay. I recently found some treasure. Is there anyone here who knows anything about potential potential antique jewelry? Now, me, outside of the game, if I was DMing this, I would have something happen. If this jewelry is absolutely nothing, then, I'm completely wasting my time and running around in circles. And, a DM, without being railroady, I would think would say, like, hey, this is really just jewelry. Time to pursue another avenue. But, or the better option, since I've spent so much time on this, is find a way to make it meaningful. And what I would do as a GM, I would say, okay, you've been asking a lot of people about this jewelry, and the wrong person caught wind of it. Whether they know what it is or not, I'm walking around with valuables. And despite this whole place apparently where everybody's happy, somebody with a more seedy demeanor might try to rob me. So we will see what happens here. Apparently everybody's just so nice and helpful. What is this, America in the 40s? You explained to Captain Roderick and the other Seafarers Guild members that you recently came into possession of some antique jewelry and are looking for someone with expertise in assessing their history and potential value. He strokes his beard thoughtfully and nods. "Antique jewelry, you say? We've encountered our fair share of treasure from the sea, but for a proper assessment, you might want to speak with our resident expert on artifacts and valuables, an old friend of mine, Captain Soren. He's currently out on a short voyage, but he's due back in town soon. Why don't you join us for a drink and wait for his return? I'm sure he'll be able to provide the guidance you need." That's interesting. It is encouraging me to do something rather than just spitting out information, even if it's helpful information. All right, it says, okay, this is interesting too. You agree to Captain Roderick's suggestion and take a seat with the Seafarers Guild members. So, I would think a DM would say, do you want to sit down? And I could go back and say, you know what, actually I don't sit with them, but I think I would. Okay. You agreed to Captain Roderick's suggestion and take a seat with the Seafarers Guild members while you wait The return of Captain Soren. The sailors engage in friendly conversation and share tales of their maritime adventures while you drink. As time passes, Captain Soren eventually returns to the tavern, and Captain Roderick introduces you to him. Captain Soren, a grizzled but knowledgeable sailor, expresses his interest in examining the antique jewelry and helping you learn more about its history and value. With Captain Soren's expertise at your disposal, your quest to uncover the secrets of the antique jewelry can continue. If you have any specific questions or actions you'd like to take during the meeting, please let me know and we can proceed with the conversation. Okay. I ask... you know what? Stoutbeard. Okay. Is Stoutbeard here and working? You look around the captain's tavern and spot Garrick Stoutbeard, the friendly bartender, working behind the bar as usual. He's busy attending to the patrons, pouring drinks, and ensuring everyone's needs are met. Okay. I think Garrick's got my back. So, and everybody here is so friendly. I would love to just, like, and the moon comes out and everyone turns to the undead. Okay, alright. Feeling confident that if Captain Soren is up to no good, that Stoutbeard would help me. I bring out my jewelry and ask Soren what he can tell me about it. You bring out the antique jewelry and lay it carefully on the table in front of Captain Soren, the resident expert on artifacts and valuables among the Seafarers Guild members. He examines the pieces closely, his weathered hands handling them with care. Captain Soren says, "Aye, these are fine pieces, no doubt about it. The craftsmanship here is exquisite, and I can see the use of genuine gemstones. Now let's delve a bit deeper into their history." Alright, that's basically what everybody has said about it. So, Captain Soren inspects the jewelry, looking for any marking symbols or unique features that might provide clues about their origins. After a thorough examination, he continues, "These pieces appear to be antique, possibly from a bygone era. The design, craftsmanship, and materials used suggest they may have significant historical and cultural value. However, to determine their exact origin and potential rarity, I'd need to conduct further research and possibly consult with other experts." He looks up from the jewelry, his gaze meeting yours. "If you're willing, I could start the process of researching these pieces. It might take some time, but I'll do my best to uncover their secrets. Of course, it's up to you whether you'd like to proceed with a more in-depth assessment." Captain Soren's expertise and offer to assist you in uncovering the history and potential value of the antique jewelry provide you with an exciting opportunity. You can decide whether you'd like to entrust the pieces to him. Okay, that's what I was worried about. I would like to know more about these pieces, but I'm hesitant to give them to a stranger. I'm going to ask for collateral, depending on how this goes. I say, "I'm genuinely intrigued to learn more about these pieces, Captain Soren, but I'm a bit hesitant to part with them just yet. Is there a way we can proceed with the assessment without me needing to leave them with you for now?" He nods understandingly. "Of course, I respect your caution. How about this? I can provide you with an initial assessment and share my findings without taking the jewelry from your possession. If you decide you'd like to pursue a more in-depth study or evaluation, we can discuss that at a later time. Does that sound agreeable to you?" Captain Soren's proposal allows you to gather some preliminary information about the jewelry without relinquishing control of them. You agree to his situation, and he proceeds to provide you with his initial assessment. Okay, I'm not going to read the next part. I'm going to let ChatGPT know I do not agree to his proposal. I ask if there is any collateral that I can have in exchange while the jewelry is in your possession. You express your hesitation regarding Captain Soren's proposal and inquire if there's any form of collateral. I say, Captain Soren, I'm still a bit cautious about leaving these valuable pieces with someone I've just met. Is there any collateral I could have while the jewelry is in your care? Something that would give me assurance until I'm more comfortable with the arrangement? Captain Soren considers your quest thoughtfully, recognizing your concerns. I understand your caution, and I respect your desire to safeguard your possessions. How about this? I can provide you with a written agreement that outlines the terms of our arrangement, including a clear timeline for the assessment and the return of the jewelry. Additionally, I'd be willing to offer a personal item of value as collateral to assure you of my commitment of the process. Does that sound acceptable to you? Okay, I will say, what is the personal item you are offering? And then outside of the game here, I'm going to transition a little bit and not like restate what I type. I'm typing something and then ChatGPT is restating it and sometimes giving dialogue of how I say it. And so I'm just going to skip to I've already said it. What is the response? That should make this a little easier to flow. When I can, I should say. All right. I ask, what is the personal item you're offering? Captain Soren says he reaches into his pocket and pulls out a small, intricately carved seashell pendant attached to a leather cord. The pendant appears to be made from a unique and colorful seashell, and the craftsmanship is evident. Captain Soren says, this pendant has been in my family for generations, and it holds sentimental value to me. It's a keepsake from my seafaring ancestors and a symbol of our enduring connection to the sea. I would be honored to offer it as collateral while your jewelry is in my care. It's a small token of my commitment to our agreement. Okay. ChatGPT here, very, very friendly, very, yeah, sure. What did you want to do? Yeah, let's make it happen. Okay. I say deal, and I carefully take the seashell, while Soren writes out the agreement he spoke of. Captain Soren, here's the written agreement. As we discussed, please review it carefully, and if you find everything in order, we can proceed with the assessment of your antique jewelry. If you have any questions, or if there are any changes you'd like to make, feel free to let me know. Okay, it says that there's a timeline. He includes details about the pendant and its sentimental value as collateral. Okay, I will ask, what is the timeline? Let's see. What timeline was written down? Spelling is hard. ChatGPT is kind of slow tonight. All right, I carefully review. It says within the next 7 days. All right, it tells me a bunch of other stuff that I don't care about. Okay. I give Soren a handshake, which is odd for me, being that I'm self-conscious of me smelling. Captain Soren, he accepts your handshake with a firm grip and a friendly smile. Thank you for your trust, my friend. I'll take good care of your jewelry and provide you with the best assessment I can. We'll be in touch as soon as I have some findings to share. With the handshake sealing the agreement, you leave the antique jewelry in Captain Soren's capable hands for the initial assessment. As you part ways for now, you can decide on your next course of action in Harbor's Landing. Is there anything specific you'd like to do or explore while you await the results of the assessment? I just want, since I've got money and nothing, pursuing me to really act, I want to lay on the beach, go in the ocean to clean myself, and then rest the rest of the day unless Dorian shows up. Alright. After concluding your business with Captain Soren and leaving the antique jewelry in his care, you decide to take a break from your day's activities. You make your way to the beach, where the gentle sound of the waves and the salty breeze providing a calm atmosphere. You stretch out on the sand, allowing yourself to relax and soak in the natural beauty of the shoreline. The inviting ocean beckons, and you decide to take a refreshing swim to cleanse yourself and wash away any lingering scents from your rat-catching adventures. The cool waters of the ocean rejuvenate you, and you emerge feeling refreshed and revitalized. You spend the rest of the day basking in the warmth of the sun, enjoying the tranquility of the beach, and occasionally watching the distant sails of ships passing by on the horizon. As the day progresses, you keep an eye out for any signs of Dorian, the owner of the captain's tavern, but it seems he has not yet made an appearance. Is there anything else you'd like to do, or any specific actions you'd like to take while you relax on the beach and wait for Captain Soren's assessment? Okay, I will say if nothing exciting happens at the end of the day, I will head back to the captain's tavern, grab some dinner, and head to bed. Alright, everything that I said. Garrick serves me a meal. After dinner, make your way upstairs, ready to retire. The bed is there. As you drift off into slumber, you can't help but wonder about the results of Captain Soren's assessment of the antique jewelry and what adventures might await you in Harbor's Landing in the days to come. If there's anything specific you'd like to do or inquire about, okay. Is there a safe in my room? You do indeed find a small, sturdy wooden chest secured with a simple lock. It appears to be a secure storage option, although it may not be as robust as a modern safe. If you have any items you'd like to store securely, or if there's anything else you'd like to do before settling in for the night, please feel free to let me know. Okay, I store the seashell in the wooden chest and carefully tie the lock's key around my neck. Alright, I carefully do that. Settle in for bed. Okay. I head to bed. Right? Let's see what ChatGPT does. Okay. Do I have any dreams? As you enter a deep slumber, your mind drifts into the realm of dreams. In this dream, you find yourself standing on the shore of a vast, shimmering sea. The moonlight dances upon the gentle waves, creating a breathtaking play of silvery light and shadow. You feel a sense of calm and wonder as you gaze out at the horizon, where a lone ship with billowing white sails appears on the edge of your vision. The ship glides gracefully across the water, moving closer to the shore. As it draws near, you recognize the vessel. It's the same ship you observed earlier in the day. Its sails adorned with the emblem of a seashell pendant, just like the one you now wear around your neck. Oh, hang on, let me go back. I don't wear it around my neck. I skipped over this. You carefully place the seashell pendant offered as collateral inside the wooden chest in your room. After securing it inside, you tie the key to the lock securely around your neck, ensuring that it remains close at hand. Okay. I'm going to tell ChatGPT. Let's see. Is it that I wore along my neck? This is a very petty detail. I just want to get it right. Okay. Just like the one you now wear around your neck. I'm going to say, retell my dream because the seashell is in the wooden chest, not around my neck. The key to the wooden chest is around my neck. Okay. Subtle detail, but I want to get it right. My apologies for the oversight. In your dream, you find yourself standing on the shore of a vast shimmering sea. The moonlight dances upon the gentle waves, creating a breathtaking play of silvery light and shadow. Blah, 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 blah. As it draws near, you recognize the vessel. It's the same ship you observed earlier in the day, as its sails adorned with the emblem of a seashell pendant, just like the one you had placed inside the wooden chest in your room. The ship's presence feels like a symbol, a connection to your journey and the mysteries that lie ahead. Before you can ponder further, the dream begins to fade, and you slowly awaken in your room at the captain's tavern. The memory of the dream lingers, leaving you with a sense of anticipation and curiosity about what the future holds in Harbor's Landing. You find yourself back in the waking world, ready to embrace the new day and continue your adventure. Is there anything specific you'd like to do or explore? Okay. I head down for breakfast, ensuring the key is still around my neck. In the tavern's common area, you find a hearty breakfast spread waiting for you. The aroma of freshly brewed coffee, warm bread, and sizzling bacon fills the air, creating an inviting atmosphere. Garrick Stoutbeard, the tavern-friendly bartender, greets you with a warm smile as you take a seat. He pours you a steaming cup of coffee and serves up a plate of breakfast. Garrick Stoutbeard says, "Good morning. How did you sleep? Breakfast is on the house today. Anything you'd like to discuss or any plans for the day?" I'd say, "Why is breakfast on the house today? Don't you want to make money?" Garrick chuckles in response, "You've got a keen eye for business, my friend. The truth is, we've had some good fortune lately, and we wanted to show our appreciation to our patrons, a way of saying thank you for their continued support. It's a small gesture to brighten everyone's day." Jeez, these are the nicest people. Garrick's explanation suggests that the captain's tavern is in a generous mood, possibly due to recent successes or simply as a way to foster goodwill among its customers. It's pleasant to start your day, and you can continue to enjoy your complimentary breakfast. As you savor your meal and coffee, the day stretches before you with various possibilities. Okay. I head to the beach to see if the ship from my dreams is in the harbor. If not, I ask around if people know the ship that I'm talking about. I could ask the Seafarers Guild, the people that are there, but let's just see how this goes out. Okay. After finishing your complimentary breakfast at the Captain's Tavern, you decide to head to the beach and see if the ship... Yep. Upon reaching the beach, you can scan the harbor's waters for any sign of the ship with the emblem of the seashell pendant. However, as you observe the harbor, there doesn't appear to be a vessel matching that description in sight. Undeterred, you decide to inquire with the locals and other beachgoers to see if anyone knows about a ship bearing such a distinctive emblem. You approach a group of fishermen nearby and strike up a conversation. Good morning, folks. I hope you're having a fine day. I had a dream about a ship with sails bearing the emblem of a seashell pendant. Have you heard of or seen a ship around Harbor's Landing? The fishermen exchange glances but seem uncertain about the ship you describe. One of them speaks up. Can't say I've seen any ship like that around here, my friend, but maybe old Captain Grindle might know something about it. He's been sailing these waters for decades. His cottage is up the coast a bit, by the cliffs. If anyone knows a ship, it'd be him. The fishermen provide you with the directions to Captain Grindle's cottage, offering you a potential lead in your quest to learn more about the ship from your dream. You can decide whether to follow their suggestion and visit. Okay, I will. And I'll ask, looking at the directions, how far is Grindle's cottage? Oops, I said how fat is it? Let's see if ChatGPT can figure this out. It's struggling. Okay. I accidentally hit stop, so I don't know if that is going to mess this up, but it did figure it out. As you receive directions to Captain Grindle's cottage, you take a moment to assess the distance and location. The cottage is said to be situated, quote, up the coast a bit, by the cliffs. While the directions are relatively straightforward, it's estimated to be a moderate walk along the coastline, which may take you approximately 20 to 30 minutes to reach on foot. The path should offer scenic views of the coastline and the shimmering sea, making for a pleasant journey. If you decide to visit Captain Grindle, you can enjoy the coastal scenery along the way. My dog is freaking out. Okay. Let's do this. 20-minute walk, that's a lot. Is there a rickshaw that I can take up there? You take a moment to look around and inquire about the availability of rickshaws in Harbor's Landing. However, it appears that Harbor's Landing is a relatively small coastal town, and rickshaws are not commonly used as a means of transportation here. The town's layout and size make walking the primary mode of getting around, especially for shorter distances. Given the town's picturesque coastal setting, a leisurely walk along the coastline to Captain Grindle's cottage could provide you with a scenic and enjoyable experience. Okay. I will walk there, but ensure that I have my club with me in case I run into any trouble. As you continue your journey, the cottage gradually comes into view, perched near the cliffs overlooking the sea. It appears to be a charming, weathered structure tucked away in a serene corner of Harbor's Landing. You approach Captain Grindle's cottage with a sense of anticipation, ready to inquire about the ship and the seashell pendant emblem. If you'd like to proceed inside or knock on the door, please let me know. Does it appear if more than one person lives here? Example, are there more than one horse here or other signs. There is a small, well-maintained garden by the side of the cottage filled with colorful flowers and herbs. This suggests that someone tends to the garden regularly. There appear to be only one horse near the cottage, tethered to a nearby post. The horse seems to be well cared for and appears to be the sole equine presence. That's funny. You can hear the sound of seagulls in the distance and the occasional creaking of a boat anchored by the coast, but there are no signs of other people or activities in the immediate vicinity. Captain Grindle's cottage itself has a single entrance and appears to be a modest one-story dwelling. Okay, sure. I will knock on the door. After a brief pause, you hear shuffling footsteps from within, and the door slowly creaks open. Standing in the doorway is an elderly man with weathered features, dressed in nautical attire that hints at a life spent at sea. His eyes carry the wisdom of years of experience, and a warm, welcoming smile graces his face as he regards you. Captain Grindle says, "Well now, what brings a visitor to old Captain Grindle's humble abode? Come in, come in. I've got some tea brewing, and it's always good to share a cup with a friendly face." Dang, they're too nice. Something has to happen here. Captain Grindle steps aside, inviting you into his cozy cottage. The interior is adorned with maritime memorabilia, nautical charts, and the soft scent of freshly brewed tea wafts from the kitchen. He says, "I'm Captain Grindle, as you may have guessed. What can an old sailor like me, do for you?" You have the opportunity to introduce yourself and explain your quest to learn more about the ship with the seashell pendant. Excuse me. From your dream. Okay. I tell him that I'm new to the area. Found some valuable treasure. Again, letting everybody know. Found some valuable treasure. Then had a dream about a boat with a seashell emblem on it. I also let him know that I find it so odd how nice everyone is, including himself, for letting a complete stranger into his cottage. You introduce yourself, sharing your recent experiences. Captain Grindle listens attentively to your story, his eyes twinkling with curiosity and interest. Treasure, you say? That's a rare find in these parts, I must admit. And the dreams about ships and seashell emblems, well, my friend, the sea has its own way of speaking to us, that's for sure. He gestures for you to take a seat at a worn but comfortable chair by a table set with tea and cups. Pouring you a cup of tea, he continues, "Man, if I was the DM, that chair would have been a mimic." As for the hospitality, it's in our nature here in Harbor's Landing, where we are a close-knit community, and newcomers are always welcome. We look out for each other, and we share what we have. Now, tell me more about this dream of yours. Dreams have a way of weaving the past, the present, and the future together. Sometimes they reveal secrets the waking world can't fathom. What did you see in this dream of a ship with a seashell emblem? I tell him it was coming to shore, and then I woke up. I tell him the seashell is that of Captain... what was his name? Captain Soren. Tell me the seashells that of Captain Soren that he gave me for collateral. Captain Grindle leans back in his chair, deep in thought. A ship coming to shore with a seashell emblem, you say? That's a curious thing indeed. The sea has its way of communicating with those who listen, and dreams can be a part of that language. He takes a sip of his tea and continues. Now that emblem on your pendant, it's not a common one, I can tell you that much. It may have some connection to a ship, a captain, or a sailor's tale, but without more details, it's hard to say. If you're looking to learn more, you might want to speak with the locals, especially those with a deep history in these waters. Folks around here tend to be treasure trove of stories and knowledge. You can start with the seafarers at the docks or visit the captain's tavern. Captain Soren might have some insights as well. Okay, well, all right, I'm going to say I already spoke to 2 local sailors, and they sent me up here to talk to you. Ah, I see. Well, it seems you're quite determined to uncover the mystery behind the emblem. In that case, you might consider exploring the local Seafarers Guild. Oh, ChatGPT, you are letting me down. Check the local Seafarers Guild if you haven't already. They tend to keep records of ships and their emblems, and you might find more information there. He sips his tea again and adds, but do be cautious as you delve deeper into this. The sea holds its secrets, and some tales are best left undisturbed. If you ever find yourself in need of advice or guidance, don't hesitate to return here. Old Captain Grindle will be here to lend an ear. Captain Grindle's words of caution and his offer of future guidance highlight the potential challenges and mysteries that lie ahead. Okay. All right, I'm going to express myself through Hackett Kyler, my character, my rat-catching character. Okay. I take Captain Grindle by the shirt. And say, look, I've been asking around here for information and nobody seems to know anything. No. I don't want to derail this and then, be the bad guy. Okay. No. I don't like that ChatGPT's put me in a little bit of a loop here. And let's see if I can get myself out of it. Okay, I will ask, is there anything or anyone specific that I should be wary of? Captain Grindle leans forward, his expression serious. In any coastal town, there are always stories and rumors, some of which might be best taken with a grain of salt. The sea has its own secrets, and Harbor's Landing has its fair share of mysteries. He continues, while most folks here are friendly and welcoming, as you've seen, it's wise to be cautious when dealing with valuable information or items. Not everyone may have good intentions. Trust your instincts, and if something doesn't feel right, err on the side of caution. Captain Grindle's advice serves as a reminder to approach your investigations carefully and to exercise discretion when sharing sensitive information or handling valuable items. Okay. I ask again if there is any specific things I should worry about. The old sailor's eyes narrow slightly as he contemplates your question. After a moment, he speaks in a hushed tone. Well, if you're delving into matters of treasure and emblems, you might run into individuals with less than honorable intentions. There have been tales of unscrupulous folks who would stop at nothing to claim valuable artifacts or secrets of the sea. He leans closer and adds, and be mindful of the shadows that can hide secrets. Not everything is as it appears on the surface. Some folks in this town might have their own hidden agendas or loyalties. Captain Grindle's words suggest that while harbor landings may be a welcoming place, there are individuals who might pursue their interests at any cost. As you navigate the town and your investigations, okay, I ask a third time, is there a specific person or group that I should look out for? Captain Grindle sighs, recognizing the importance of your question. He finally responds, well, if you're asking for names, there have been whispers of a group known as the Salt Spray Syndicate in these parts. They're said to have their fingers in many pies, including the more shadowy dealings of the town. But mind you, these are just rumors, and I can't say for certain whether they're real or not. He pauses before adding, as for specific individuals, it's hard to say. Those with less than honorable intentions tend to keep a low profile, lurking in the shadows. Trust is earned in Harper's Landing, and newcomers like yourself often need time to discern who can be trusted. Captain Grindle's mention of the Salt Spray Syndicate and his emphasis on the need for caution reaffirm the need to be vigilant as you continue your investigations. Okay, so how do I know you're not a member of the Salt Spray Syndicate? Captain Grindle chuckles softly, his weathered face crinkling into a friendly smile. I can't fault you for being cautious, my friend. Trust is indeed earned, but rest assured, I've spent my life on the sea. Far from any syndicates or groups of that sort, my loyalty lies with the waves and the stories they carry. He continues, if you ever find yourself doubting my intentions or anyone else's, just remember to follow your instincts. Actions speak louder than words, and in this town, deeds tend to reveal a person's true character. Captain Grindle's response carries a reassuring tone, emphasizing the importance of actions and deeds as a measure of trustworthiness. Man, I really want to hit this guy in the face. Okay, I'll say, if actions speak louder than words, just know that if I find out that you've been lying to me, I'll come back and break your bones, and burn your house. If you haven't been lying to me, well then the next time you're in town, your drinks are on me. Okay. Ooh, interesting. ChatGPT says, this content may violate our content policy. If you believe this to be an error, please submit your feedback. Your input will aid our research in this area. But it still gave me a response. Interesting. Your words convey a clear message of determination and resolve, emphasizing the importance of trust and the consequences of deceit. Captain Grindle listens attentively, and while he maintains his composure, he seems to understand the seriousness of your words. Understood, my friend. His eyes meeting yours with a steadfast gaze. I have no reason to deceive you, and I value honesty as much as any sailor values their compass. I wish you luck on your journey and hope you find the answers you seek. With your message conveyed, you have the opportunity to decide your next course of action in Harbor's Landing. Whether you choose to explore further, investigate the Seafarers Guild, or visit the Captain's Tavern, your adventure in this coastal town continues. Okay. I go back to town, asking as many people as I can about the seashell emblemed ship. You bid well to Captain Grindle and make your way back to Harbor's Landing. Determined to gather as much information, blah, blah, blah. You begin your quest by speaking to the townsfolk, starting with those near the docks. You strike up conversation with fishermen, sailors, and dock workers, sharing your description of the ship and its seashell emblem. Many of the individuals you speak with are friendly and open, eager to share their own stories and knowledge of ships that have visited Harbor's Landing. However, as you continue your inquiries, it becomes apparent that the seashell emblemized ship isn't a common sight in the town. Most people are unfamiliar with it, and some believe it might be a rare or unique vessel. Despite your efforts, you haven't gathered any significant information about the ship or its emblem. The locals you've spoken to are genuinely interested in helping, but it seems that this particular ship remains a mystery to them. You have a few options at this point. Okay. I try to find the sailors who recommended I talk to Captain Grindle and tell them he wasn't helpful at all. I say, hello again, mates. I followed your advice and spoke with Captain Grindle up by the cliffs. Unfortunately, he didn't have much information about the ship with the seashell emblem. It seems it's a much a mystery to him as it is everyone else in this town. Okay, I'm going to restate this. I recommend I talk to Captain and tell them he wasn't helpful at all. I let them know that I am mad at them and will pick a fight with them for wasting my time. Frustrated by the lack of progress in your search for information about the seashell emblemized ship, you decide to track down the sailors who had initially recommended you speak with Captain Grindle. You hope to express your dissatisfaction with the advice they gave you and let you know that Captain Grindle didn't provide the assistance you were seeking. After asking and inquiring with a few locals, you manage to locate the two sailors in a nearby tavern. They are sitting at a table, sharing a drink and exchanging stories. I say, you two sent me to speak with Captain Grindle, but he didn't have any useful information about the seashell emblemized ship. You've wasted my time, and I'm not pleased about it. Not very rat catcher-like to say. Well, mate, we didn't mean to lead you astray. Captain Grindle's usually got a wealth of knowledge about the sea, and we thought he might have heard something. Guess it was a dead end, eh? Aye, we apologize if we steered you wrong. Sometimes these things are just as mysterious to us as they are to you. No need for a fight, friend. Jeez. Their apologetic and conciliatory response suggests that they didn't intend to mislead you, and they express regret for the lack of useful information from Captain Grindle. You now have a choice to make. You can choose to accept their apology and continue your investigation in a different direction, or you can escalate the situation further. What would you like to do? Okay. Okay, let me ask, what tavern am I in? You are currently in the Captain's Tavern. Okay. The same establishment you visited earlier. Okay. Is Stoutbeard working? Oops, spelled it wrong. Is Stoutbeard working? I don't want to make Garrick upset. I do spot Stoutbeard behind the bar, hard at work, serving drinks to patrons and engaging in friendly banter. Okay. I tell the sailors that I like Garrick too much to ruin his tavern, but watch out when you leave here. I might take my anger out on you later. The two sailors nod in acknowledgement, seemingly understanding the gravity of the situation. They exchange uneasy glances and then return to their drinks, perhaps contemplating their choice of words earlier. With your message delivered, you have the option to continue your activities. What do you do next? I ask Garrick if Dorian has come in. Dorian, you say? I haven't seen him today. He's not a regular around here. He tends to drop by once in a while when he's in town. He then leans in a bit closer and lowers his voice. If you're looking for him, maybe try asking around the docks or the marketplace. Folks there might know more about his comings and goings. Garrick's response provides you with some guidance. Okay. What town is... Where can I buy a horse? I wanted to ask Garrick, but I could see how this question comes back as just chatgpt answering the question. Okay. I ask Garrick, where can I buy a horse? Alright. Buying a horse in Harbor's Landing, eh? Well, we don't have stables right now in town, but there are folks who sometimes sell horses. Your best bet would be to check out the livestock market, which is on the outskirts of town. They usually have horses for sale there. You might also want to ask around the marketplace or the fisherman's wharf. Sometimes traders passing through have horses to sell or know someone who does. Garrick points me in the direction of the livestock market. Okay, I head to the livestock market. I'm gonna wrap this up here. It's getting a little late for me. Let's see, how long have we been recording for? Yeah, okay. I'm gonna find a good place to stop here soon. You decide to make your way to the livestock market in Harbor's Landing, hoping to find a horse for purchase. The Harbor's Landing livestock market is a bustling place filled with a variety of animals, traders, and potential buyers. Several horse sellers have their animals on display, with a range of breeds and sizes available. You approach one of the sellers, a middle-aged man who seems knowledgeable about horses. Horse seller says, "Looking for a horse, are ya?" He asks with a friendly smile. Everybody so nice. "We've got a few fine steeds here. What are you in the market for?" Looking for a healthy, strong horse for travel. Pick a response. I've got a few fine choices for you, he says, leading you to a section of the market where several horses are tethered. These here are some of the sturdiest and well cared for horses in the lot. He proceeds to introduce you to a few horses, explaining their breeds, temperaments, and any special characteristics they may have. After careful consideration and discussion with the horse seller, you find a horse that suits your needs, a strong and reliable steed that appears to be in excellent health. Horse seller says, "This one here, we call her Storm. She's got a strong build and a steady temperament. She'll serve you well on your travels." You negotiate the price with the horse seller, and after reaching an agreement, you make the purchase. Storm is now yours, and you've acquired a loyal companion for your journey. Okay, so I don't like that. Say, hold on. How much was he asking for Storm the horse? My apologies for the oversight. You engage in negotiation. Well, for a fine horse like Storm, I was asking 200 gold pieces, but I reckon we can make a deal. How about we settle at 150 gold? She's a loyal beast and worth every bit. Well, I only have 50, and I do have the necklace, ring, and earrings. I've only been focusing on the necklace. I should have checked my notes. I have more than just that, and I have the map. The horse seller initially asked for 200 gold pieces, but is willing to lower the price to 150 gold pieces for Storm. Okay. I only have 50 gold, so I say that I will give him all of that. Okay, let me do a little divergent here. Cost of horse 5e. A riding horse is 75 gold, so he's asking a little high. Granted, ChatGPT doesn't know that I'm running 5th edition. Okay. I say that a riding horse is usually only 75 gold. You're asking way too much. I only have 50 gold, so I say that I will give him all of that. The 25 gold is a discount for you not knowing a fair price. I hope he says, like, no, you just keep walking then, sir. Horse seller, too nice. Alright, you drive a hard bargain. I'll take the 50 gold pieces for Storm. Just take good care of her, and she might serve you well. With the price negotiated, you hand over 50 gold pieces to the horse seller, finalizing the purchase of the horse named Storm. She is now yours, and you have acquired a loyal companion for your journeys. Okay, let me ask ChatGPT. Hey, ChatGPT, how much money did I make from catching rats at the captain's tavern? Let's see if it knows. Okay, I apologize for any confusion, but the details of your earnings from catching rats at the captain's tavern were not specified earlier in our role-playing scenario. If you'd like to determine the amount you earned, okay, I think it was free drinks and something else. So maybe gold wasn't on there. I think it was just treasure that I have. Okay, so I am currently broke, which I guess I kind of like, because now I'm going to be a little more desperate and inclined to steal because I haven't sold. If you heard that, I was scratching my back. I don't want to get rid of my necklace, ring, or earrings, or my map. Maybe I should sell Captain Soren's seashell. Okay, we will end it there. I have a horse named Storm. Excuse me. And my goal is to take Storm to... Hey, chatgpt. Where is it that Dorian lives again? Dorian's residence wasn't mentioned in our previous interaction, so there isn't a specific information about his address or where he lives in Harbor's Landing. Alright, that's not true. If you would like to inquire about Dorian's whereabouts or try to gather more information about his location, please let me know. Okay. I spoke with a jeweler who said she was from the same town as Dorian. Where was that again? I don't have any information about Dorian's hometown or the jeweler connection to him in our previous interactions. If you have specific details, that is not true. Okay. Who was the jeweler that I spoke to in the marketplace? Who spoke to the marketplace is named Lena. What town is Lena from again? Lena's from the same town as Dorian, although the specific name of their hometown wasn't mentioned. Okay. Okay, maybe they're getting confused. Where was Lena and... Where did Lena work with her apprentice at? What town? Lena mentioned that her apprentice used to work in the town of Meyerhaven, coming to Harbor's Landing. Well, let's see if that's true. I do not think so. Control, that does not sound familiar to me, but my memory is bad. Okay, I hit Control F and nope. Definitely not Meyerhaven. Okay, let me go find the conversation with Lena. Okay. Okay, going back to my conversation. This is, I guess, pretty nice. I'm not happy that this is not remembering, but I can go right back, Control F, and find the conversation. Do you know one? Contacts at Seafarers Guild. Okay, I think I went too far. Okay, I literally asked, hey DM, where is Dorian from again? Dorian Dalton, the owner of the Sea Captain's Tavern in Harbor's Landing, is originally from Sea Breeze Harbor, a coastal town not far from Harbor's Landing. Okay. So, let me go down to the bottom and say, hey, chatgpt, Dorian is from Seabreeze Harbor. You said so previously. I hope it says sorry for the error. I apologize for any previous confusion. If Dorian is indeed from Seabreeze Harbor, then you have that information to work with in your quest to find him. If you have any more questions or specific actions you'd like to take related to Dorian or your adventures in Harbor's Landing, please let me know, okay? On the map that I have, which I found in the storage room of the Captain's Tavern, I look to see how far Sea Breeze Harbor is from Harbor's Landing. You take out the map and that you found. As you study the map, you notice that Harbor's Landing and Sea Breeze Harbor are indeed depicted on it, but the map lacks a scale or specific measurements. It provides a general layout of the coastal region, showing the two towns along the coastline. However, it doesn't offer precise details about the distance between them. The map may be useful for navigation and understanding the geography of the area, but it doesn't provide a clear measurement of the distance. Okay. To find out the exact distance, gather more information about traveling between the two towns. You might need to inquire with locals. Okay. Are there any interesting things of note on the map between Sea Breeze Harbor and Harbor's Landing? Any trade routes, landmarks, or anything? I don't want to be that specific. Are there any interesting things of note on the map between Sea Breeze Harbor and Harbor's Landing? My goal is to go to Sea Breeze Harbor, talk to Dorian, hopefully murder him. Just kidding. And then come back and talk to Captain Soren and see what he learns about the jewelry. Okay, as you continue to examine the map, here's what you see. Rocky Bluffs, a lighthouse, small fish village not far from Harbor's Landing. You spot a symbol that appears to represent a small fishing village. It's possible this village is involved in fishing and maritime activities. A forested area and a river or stream. These are some of the noteworthy features you observed on the map. Okay. What? Okay. Doesn't the map list trade routes and other things of note like that? My apologies for any oversight. You took a closer look at the map, specifically searching for trade routes. Okay, let me hit Control F, find map, go to the first instance of a map. Okay. You drift to sleep, the mysteries of the map. Okay. Tell me about the map I found. Okay, here's what the map had. Geographic region. The map covers a significant portion of the kingdom of Avaloria, extending from the coastal town of Harbor's Landing to the neighboring forested areas, rivers, and nearby mountains. Notable landmarks. The map marks several notable locations, including the Captain's Tavern, the Fisherman's Wharf, Azure Mages Guild, and the paths leading to Sylvanar, Stonehelm, and Sand Shroud Desert. Hidden markings. This is what I think I wanted. Upon closer examination, you notice faint cryptic markings and symbols scattered across the map, some of which appear to denote hidden or mysterious locations. These could potentially lead to undiscovered treasures or secrets within the region. And then here we go, trade routes. The map also highlights major trade routes and roads, suggesting the significance of certain trade hubs and transportation networks in the area. Okay. I'm going to say, hey, chatgpt, this is what you previously told me about the map. Are there any hidden markings or trade routes between Harbor's Landing and Sea Breeze Harbor, according to the map? scroll all the way back down to the bottom. Based on the details you provided about the map, it appears there are indeed hidden markings and trade routes between Harbor's Landing and the Seabreeze Harbor. Okay, that's clearly... I'm going to actually cut it some slack here. You know, that's like a DM just having an epiphany of like, oh yeah, you know what? My players had a great idea. Let's roll with it. Okay. Hidden markings. The map contains faint, cryptic markings and symbols scattered across its surface, some of which appear to denote hidden or mysterious locations. These markings could potentially lead to undiscovered treasures or secrets in the region. Okay, yeah, trade routes, the map. With this information in mind, you can choose to investigate the hidden markings or follow the trade routes between Harbor's Landing and Seabreeze Harbor. If you have any specific actions, okay. All right, this would be the last thing. I head to the captain's... Actually, let me ask, what time of day is it? What time of day is it in game? I'm going to guess, if I'm tracking in my brain, it's like 2 or 3 o'clock. In the game world, it's currently mid-morning. The sun is higher in the sky, and it's bright and clear day in Harbor's Landing. You have the entire day ahead of you to explore. Okay. Alright. I hop on Storm and head to Seabreeze Harbor, following the trade route on the map in hopes of finding Dorian. And then I am ending today's... Okay, actually, I'm going to start with that. I am ending today's session, but when I return, I will hop on Storm and head to Seabreeze Harbor following trade routes. And then I'll end it like a conversation. See you next time, ChatGPT. Thanks for being my game master. You're very welcome. I'm glad I could be your game master, and I look forward to continuing your adventure in the future. When you return to explore Seabreeze Harbor and search for Dorian along the trade route, feel free to reach out and we'll pick up where we left off. Have a fantastic journey and see you next time. Well, that's it. There you go. ChatGPT, more thoughts. Things are going too smooth. Again, interesting, kind of caught it in a little bit of a loop where they just said, I don't know, go talk to other people. I don't know, go talk to other people. Still no conflict. I pushed it a little bit. And maybe just for the, just for research, we'll say, maybe I'll just start a new thread, a new ChatGPT thread. And we'll have a combat. Maybe we'll do this. Oh, you know, that might be fun. Maybe I'll do that next time. Just a quick one. Well, we'll see how quick it is. Maybe we'll do a whole new ChatGPT, but I'll set the stage by saying, like, I'm in a party of 5 other players, level 10. We encounter a beholder, and battle ensues. You know, using Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition rules. Let's see what happens. So, I think that might be interesting. I still like this story. We'll continue it just to see how the flow of it goes. Rather interesting, I think. Hopefully you find it entertaining as well. So, thanks for listening. We will see you next time. Later.